The sun was dipping low over Louisville, Kentucky, painting the sky with streaks of orange and pink as a young boy sprinted through the streets, his sneakers slapping against the cracked pavement. His name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr., born on January 17, 1942, into a world that didn't always welcome him with open arms. His father, Cassius Sr., spent his days painting signs for businesses, his hands stained with the colors of dreams he couldn't quite reach. His mother, Odessa, scrubbed floors and cared for the children of wealthy families, her laughter a quiet rebellion against a life of struggle. They were a black family in a segregated America, where the sting of racism was as common as the summer heat. But young Cassius, he was different. He didn't just walk, he danced. He didn't just talk, he roared. Even at 12, he had a fire in his eyes that no one could dim. One humid afternoon, Cassius's world tilted. His prized red bicycle, his ticket to freedom, was stolen from outside a local fair. Tears burned his cheeks as he stormed up to a police officer, fists clenched. "I'm gonna find who took it and beat him to a pulp," he declared. The officer, Joe Martin, chuckled, his eyes kind but firm. "Son, if you're gonna fight, you better learn how first." Joe wasn't just a cop, he was a boxing coach, and that moment sparked a journey that would shake the world. Cassius threw himself into boxing like a man possessed. Rain or shine, he trained. He tied weights to his shoes and ran until his lungs screamed. He punched trees until his knuckles bled, dreaming of the day he'd stand in a ring under bright lights. By 18, he was a whirlwind of speed and swagger, winning 6 Kentucky Golden Gloves titles, 2 national championships, and a gold medal at the 1960 Rome Olympics. He returned to Louisville a hero, but the city's diners still turned him away because of his skin. "Gold medal or not," they sneered, "you're still not welcome." That rejection cut deep, but it also forged something unbreakable in him. As a professional, Cassius dazzled. His feet moved like a dancer's, his fists struck like lightning, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, he'd say, grinning as opponents swung at air. He wasn't just fast, he was poetry in motion, but he was loud too, boasting with a wink and a rhyme. "I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm pretty, and I'm gonna be the champ." People laughed, called him a braggart, but he didn't care. He was writing his own legend. In 1964, at just 22, Cassius faced Sonny Liston for the World Heavyweight Championship. Liston was a beast, a man who made grown men tremble. The world bet against Cassius, but he had a secret weapon: belief. He outmaneuvered Liston, his speed a blur, and when the bell rang, Cassius Clay was king of the world. But the real shock came after the fight. Standing before a sea of reporters, he dropped a bombshell. "Cassius Clay is my slave name," he said, his voice steady. "I am Muhammad Ali, a free man." Inspired by Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam, he had embraced a new faith, a new identity. The world erupted, some in awe, others in fury. How dare a black man reject his given name? How dare he choose his own path? Ali didn't flinch. He kept fighting, kept winning, his charisma lighting up arenas from Miami to Manila. But a bigger fight loomed. In 1967, the Vietnam War was raging, and the US government drafted Ali to serve. He refused. "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong," he said. "They never called me the N-word." His faith and his conscience wouldn't let him fight a war he didn't believe in. The cost was catastrophic. The government stripped his title, revoked his boxing license, and threatened him with 5 years in prison. At 25, in the prime of his career, Muhammad Ali was banned from the ring. For 3 years, Ali was silenced, at least in boxing, but his voice, that grew louder. He crisscrossed the country, speaking at colleges, churches, and community centers. He talked about racism, war, faith, and freedom. Students flocked to hear him, some drawn by his fame, others by his truth. "I'd rather be broke than betray myself," he told them. He wasn't just a boxer anymore, he was a movement. In 1970, the ban lifted and Ali returned to the ring. His comeback fight against Jerry Quarry was a triumph. But the real test came in 1971, the fight of the century against Joe Frazier. Madison Square Garden pulsed with energy as two undefeated champions clashed. Frazier's hooks were relentless, Ali's speed a fading echo. In the 15th round, Frazier's left hook sent Ali crashing to the canvas. He got up, but the judges gave Frazier the win. The world thought Ali was done. They were wrong. Ali fought on, his body bruised, but his spirit unbroken. He lost to Ken Norton, his jaw shattered, but won the rematch. He faced Frazier again and reclaimed victory. Then, in 1974, came the impossible. A shot at the title against George Foreman, a young, terrifying champion. The fight, dubbed the Rumble in the Jungle, was set in Zaire, Africa. Foreman was a wrecking ball, undefeated and unstoppable. Ali's fans feared for his life, but Ali had a plan: rope-a-dope. He leaned against the ropes, absorbing Foreman's blows, letting the giant tire himself out. Round after round, Foreman swung, and Ali whispered, "That all you got, George?" In the 8th round, Ali struck, a flurry of punches that sent Foreman to the mat. The stadium erupted. At 32, Muhammad Ali was champion again. Africa crowned him a king. The Middle East embraced him as a brother. Asia chanted his name. Ali was no longer just America's, he was the world's. In 1975, he faced Frazier one last time in the Thrilla in Manila. Under a suffocating Philippine sun, they fought like gladiators. After 14 brutal rounds, Frazier's corner threw in the towel. Ali collapsed, later calling it the closest thing to dying. He won, but the fight broke both men. As the years passed, Ali's body began to betray him. His speech slurred, his hands trembled. In 1980, he fought Larry Holmes, a former sparring partner now in his prime. Holmes dominated, and Ali's trainer stopped the fight. In 1981, Ali's final bout against Trevor Berbick ended in defeat. He retired, but the diagnosis came soon after: Parkinson's disease, likely caused by years of blows to the head. The man who moved like a butterfly now struggled to walk. The voice that shook nations was reduced to a whisper. But Ali didn't retreat. He traveled the world, a quiet warrior for peace. He visited orphanages, hospitals, and disaster zones, his shaking hands offering comfort. In 1990, he flew to Iraq, negotiating with Saddam Hussein to free hostages. In India, children mobbed him, their hero. In 1996, at the Atlanta Olympics, he lit the Olympic flame, his trembling hands steady in spirit. The world wept, not for pity, but for awe. Ali was a father to 9 children, his daughter Layla becoming an undefeated boxing champion. His wife, Lonnie, cared for him as Parkinson's tightened its grip. He prayed, he smiled, he lived. On June 3, 2016, Muhammad Ali passed away in Phoenix, Arizona, at 74. His funeral in Louisville was a global celebration. Over 100,000 lined the streets chanting, "We love you, Ali." His tombstone, simple and profound, reads, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room in heaven." Ali's legacy isn't just in his 56 wins or 3 heavyweight titles. It's in the lessons he left behind. He taught us to believe in ourselves, even when the world laughs, to stand for what's right, no matter the cost, to train through pain because the goal is worth it, to speak boldly but live humbly, using your voice for the voiceless, to rise after every fall, stronger than ever before. Ali wasn't born great. He became great through courage, faith, and an unshakable purpose. So, wherever you are, whatever you're fighting, doubt, fear, or a world that says you can't, remember Ali. He was mocked, banned, broken, but he never quit. Your story isn't over. Stand up, dream big, and be your own champion. Because if a kid from Louisville could change the world, so can you.